Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Yeah, Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to on today's episode because, of course, it's Wednesday. You know what that means, Larson. Hot takes.
Hot takes, yeah.
We're going to take a look at your hot takes, and we're going to react to them and respond to them and debate them and talk about them. And a little bit later on in the episode, we're going to react to the PWI 500, or at least like the top, whatever we're going to
Top 10, yeah.
Top 10.
Top 10.
Yeah. There we go. Anyways,
For sure.
Let's go ahead and dive into these hot takes. First up, from Sarfadam. I don't know how to say this name.
I don't either.
Anyway, Saw says, other than Lesnar Cena, WrestlePalooza wasn't bad.
I mean, I guess in a vacuum, in a bubble,
Yep.
sure. Like outside of that match, none of the matches were bad per se. In fact, there was one exceptional match, Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky.
Yeah.
But within the context of what WrestlePalooza was supposed to be and what it represented for the company,
Oh, yeah.
it kind of stunk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when expectations are laid forth by Mark Shapiro, president of TKO, by Triple H, in terms of what we could expect, in terms of the level of show we were going to get.
Yeah.
This felt no different than your standard B-level pay-per-view in terms of the card. Yeah, there was one really good match. I mean, I don't want to take that one match for granted to minimize how good Io versus Stephanie was, because it was exceptional. But you know, considering what this show meant for WWE, it's the first show on ESPN. You got to put your best foot forward. They did with Raw on Netflix, that first episode. There was stuff on there that was huge and felt like it mattered.
Mm-hmm.
You know, seeing Cena get squashed by Brock Lesnar in a few minutes. All the while over on the other channel, AEW is putting forth another banger of a match in their main event scene. And I know AEW is not for everybody. That, you know, 40-minute wrestling matches, I get it. It's not for everybody. But it just felt like, given what this show was supposed to represent, and given the expectations that were laid forth by people within TKO and WWE, this show severely underdelivered.
There is something about watching arrogance fail. People love to see, and they will be happy to pile on when there is an arrogance about something, and that arrogance bungles whatever the situation is. In this case, WWE, in all of their arrogance,
Hubris.
charging exorbitant prices for their tickets, charging people who I don't even want to go to the show because I can't afford it. Now I got to pay an extra $30 because ESPN couldn't wait until the deals were done so they can wring more money out of their fan base. The WWE did the Peacock deal early, got on board with ESPN before we thought they would, before ESPN was really ready. Couple that with counter programming, bundle that with Brock Lesnar's controversial return, which is a big FU to a large part of the fan base. Oh, we're not gonna have these annoying YouTubers in the press room anymore to ask us questions. No, remember when they did that, the post show, when, oh yeah, this is really what matters. You don't matter. This is what they really matter. That level of arrogance, and then to deliver on something that just immediately, spectacularly left a bad taste in the mouth of a large portion of its fan base, is just extra sweet to watch and to talk about. So I understand. You know, even in advance of WrestlePalooza, on their Instagram, they posted ads for watch John Cena's last match against Brock Lesnar. Sign up now for the ESPN app. And almost every comment just eviscerating the idea of having to plunk down extra money because, you know, these people weren't able to, $30, VPN, pirate GIF, Johnny Depp GIF, There is something about being able to point fingers and laugh at a multi-billion-dollar deal designed to just suck more money out of the fan base. So yeah, you're absolutely right. In a vacuum, wasn't that bad. In a vacuum, it was fine. The Lesnar Cena stuff, whatever. I guess that's just, it is what it is.
That's what Brock does.
But yeah, it's just, it is. People like. It's like, you're going to try to take advantage of us in this economy. Well, yeah, we're going to laugh at you when you stumble and fall. You look like an idiot right now.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, the next day, ESPN's website drops the C grade on WrestlePalooza was an extra little cherry on top.
It really was. Really was.
So.
Next hot take here from Lord Blake Whitehouse says Drew McIntyre is becoming to Triple H what Dolph Ziggler was to Vince.
Ooh, kind of hard to disagree in a way, right? If Drew McIntyre for the next 12 months doesn't win a world title and he keeps on doing the thing that he's been doing for the last 12 months, would you be more inclined to say this is now in stone? Whereas right now, you can pencil this in.
There's two things that need to happen before this is in stone. One, Drew needs to be the first feud for anybody called up from NXT.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then also, Drew has to be one of the first feuds for anybody who just won the world title.
Okay, yeah.
Those were two roles that Dolph played for, I don't know, the last half of his WWE career.
Sure.
Because he was popular enough that, Dolph's in the world title picture? Cool. Mm-hmm. He was a good enough wrestler that they'd put him in the ring opposite, someone new to main roster to make sure the matches were quality.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Drew's a good in-ring worker. He's a former world champion, many times over, in fact.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I mean, who has he, what's been his last, I don't know.
Good feud? Punk one,
well,
probably.
No, I was going to say, what's been his last batch of matches to, get a good, because it's not like Drew is at least booked. He is presented as a scary threat, And that's one thing you can never say about Dolph Ziggler.
Mm-hmm.
So I do see there is one distinction there, which might put him more in Big Show territory.
Yeah.
Let's see, dude. Why is cage match not coming up here? Drew McIntyre cage matches. This should be like the first thing that did cage match go down or something? Where the hell is cage match? That's weird. Now I gotta actually type in the name of the. That's weird. They weren't in the thing. McIntyre. Let's see here.
I mean, he's been feuding with Cody and Randy for the last few months.
Yeah, I mean that's
there was the Jelly Roll match, of course. Prior to that was the Priest feud.
He beat. Okay, boy, he's not had a lot of matches.
Mm-mm. He was out hurt for a little while too.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He had the Priest thing, I guess.
He was feuding with Sami towards the end of last year.
Yeah.
Jay. Punk before that. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's been up there. He beat in what was this? January 20. I know this is going back a ways, but I'm just looking at this year. He beat Sami Zayn.
I mean, he beat Punk at SummerSlam last year.
Elimination Chamber qualifying triple threat, beat Jimmy Uso and LA Knight. But then Jimmy beat him somehow. It was probably a weird wonk finish there. Because then, Drew beat Jimmy. Drew defeats Randy Orton, defeats Damian Priest in a street fight at WrestleMania. Defeats LA Knight by DQ, however that went down. Lost in a triple threat, but it's a triple threat.
And then he lost to Damian Priest in that cage match on Saturday night's main event.
I mean, that's kind of gnarly. That was a weird one, but then he went away for a little while, I think.
Yeah, he did.
And then he got beat by Randy Orton, he got beat by Cody. I mean, those are really quality opponents to get beat by. He should have won all the matches against Damian Priest.
Yeah.
But you got to try something with Damian, I guess.
Or if Damien's going to, well, I guess he did leave the cage, but it wasn't like a situation where he had to leave the cage, scratching and clawing his way out. He bashed Drew's head in with a chair and just ambled out casually.
Yeah,
that's like the most dominant escape the cage type win there is, yeah?
He's just so on the precipice, like always.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't necessarily get that. That's sort of the difference, right? Like Dolph wasn't really on the precipice always.
There was a few months, like maybe in like around the time he won Money in the Bank. Starting there until he actually cashed in. Part of that's because he had the Money in the Bank briefcase, but also it wasn't so much, oh, he's on the precipice of being champion. Oh, he's on the precipice of being, I'm not going to say the top tier in terms of superstars, but pretty darn close to it.
There is the opportunity, sure.
Yeah. And then, Vince does what he normally did at the time with Money in the Bank winners and have them lose a lot.
I'll say remains to be seen because looking back on his time over the past 12 months, he has been booked as a threat. It's just he always barely comes up short. And the last like 5 years of Dolph in WWE was basically exclusively, like you said, new person comes in, Dolph's
he was the
guy.
gatekeeper. He was the gatekeeper.
And Drew's not that.
But if he becomes that.
Yeah, if he becomes that, then we'll be talking. Yeah, he's not there quite yet. Who's the gatekeeper now?
Miz.
Miz is the gatekeeper now?
Yeah, he's been one of the gatekeepers for a while.
Here's the thing. There hasn't been any high profile signings, nor have there been any high profile like men's division call ups. There's no need for a men's gatekeeper now. So, anyway, next hot take here is from Atticus, and Atticus says, Drew should have signed with AEW last year. His feud with CM Punk was the only great thing he's done. Everything else has been disappointing. At least in AEW, Tony Khan would have been motivated to use Drew in a major way just to stick it to WWE. He might not have been a world champion, but he would have had interesting stories and feuds with Swerve, Darby, or Hangman. Hard to disagree here. If you're not going to be world champion in AEW, being really close to being world champion in WWE is way better. It's way better.
I will say that. I don't disagree, but I will say this. Drew seems like a creative dude. I feel like he's one of the people that could leave WWE and go to AEW and probably thrive. I mean, he'll sign a massive deal over there if he were ever to go, which I don't think he ever would. And so there'd be financial incentive for Tony Khan to use him on a regular basis because he's probably going to be paying them a huge amount of money. But something tells me Drew would have a good grasp on what he wanted to do and be able to communicate that and get it done.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Drew is such a big deal by now.
Oh, yeah.
It's like an impossible situation. He goes there, immediately wins the world title, which is like probably what they should do. But like, that's horrible because you're just going to throw away all your guys for that dude.
After spending basically the entire past year AEW has of really saying, these are our cornerstones that we're building around now.
Yeah, he doesn't fit. He's honestly, like, I hate to say this, he's too big. It's like he's just the alternative is do what they did with Lashley, put him in a tag. Thank God Lashley had a previous history with the Hurt Business because like putting him with the Hurt Syndicate, it kind of makes sense, I guess. Mm-hmm. Because like this dude should be killing everybody. Mm-hmm. Bobby Lashley, like theoretically, he should be world champion by now in AEW, kind of like, and a dominant one at that. Drew doesn't fit in AEW. And it's like, okay, if he wins the world championship, it feels like a consolation prize for not getting the job done in WWE. And if he doesn't, then he comes off as extra chumpish because, well, he also was doing the same thing in WWE, but now you're not doing it against Cody, Randy, and Roman Reigns. You're doing it against MJF, Ospreay, and Hangman. I love those guys. Don't get me wrong.
They're great. They're all
But
great.
It's like, I don't know. It just seems like WWE seems like the major leagues.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that to be like, I don't know. It's just, it would be weird. It'd be weird. No, he should not. 1,000% no, he shouldn't have signed with AEW. That'd be stupid.
I would say this: if he was out of the title picture in AEW, it's a massive if. If he was doing something like really interesting creatively, like they were telling again, a massive if, telling really good stories with him, and he was doing amazing character work, so he was doing interesting work while not being involved in the title picture, feuding with, major names, again, outside the title picture for a little bit. It'd be neat.
Yeah, it'd just be weird. AEW, look, I like AEW. They have their thing. They have their thing at this point, They have their thing. And it's just not... It's such a good idea in general for Tony Khan. And that would be the thing. It's like, if you're Tony Khan and you have access to Drew McIntyre, how do you not sign him? Like, you really should.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But it also really doesn't fit with what you're doing. So maybe you don't. I don't know. I legitimately don't know. You got Edge in there. And I think he's a value for the company. So obviously you pick up Drew. Obviously.
Yeah.
But you need to find some cool shit to do with him if you're going to do that. I mean, it's all about nothing because like Drew already re-signed with WWE. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, I get you. I mean, I guess apart from his very short stint as TNT champ, Cope had the one feud with Mox, lost that. It's not like they're trying to really shove him into the main title picture. I mean, that's up for debate whether he's doing anything interesting or not. But
he's also like old.
Yeah. And
Drew isn't. Like Drew is like, I don't know. You could maybe consider Drew at his peak right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It'd be a weird fit. And you're right. Like, dude, anytime you do something super interesting, but AEW is kind of like not the most consistent company with doing that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would be. It's one thing to be creative. It's another thing to sort of, which I think happened with Swerve, where Swerve is like Swerve. I think Swerve understands how to tell like weekly television stories. Mm-hmm. But I don't think a lot of people do. And I have no idea if Drew would or not. But in any event, it'd be. I think he's perfect in WWE. I think he is. If he was like, if he was in the same spot as like Damian Priest or Aleister Black, then it'd be a different conversation.
I mean, Damian Priest did beat him in that cage match, so he's not too far removed from where Damian Priest is at.
He is, though, because look at where Damian is now. Like, he is. Damian, I think Damian kind of outperformed his. They had Damian up there, but like, what did that do for him? Nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
really
nothing whatsoever.
No.
So, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we're going to continue on with these hot takes here in just a moment. We do have a sponsor for the show this week, so let's go ahead and talk about them.
Let's do it. This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by Tempo. My kids are back at school, and that means there's a lot more going on here in the Ann Larson household between all the homework and after-school activities the kids have going on, plus work for me planning and preparing a healthy meal at dinner time become a serious challenge.
You got that right, man, which is why I love Tempo. They offer pre-cooked real meals that are actually good for you, and they're ready to eat in just minutes. Tempo means that I no longer have to skip meals or order mediocre takeout or pick up something at the drive-thru when my schedule is packed.
And Tempo keeps things exciting with 20 new meal recipes every week, like Herbie grilled chicken and green chili beef burrito bowls that are made from nutrient-rich ingredients so you can stay consistent with your healthy eating habits. And you know me, Steve. I need to get my protein in every day, but no matter your goals, there's a Tempo meal for you. They've got carb-conscious meals, fiber-rich meals, and oh yeah, protein-packed meals with up to 30 grams of protein.
And for a limited time, Tempo is offering our listeners 60% off your first box. Go to tempomeals.com/raw. That's tempomeals.com/raw for 60% off your first box. tempomeals.com/raw. Rules and restrictions may apply. All right, man, let's continue on with our next hot take. This one comes from Darius the Great. Darius the Great says, John Cena should face more criticism for how his retirement tour has turned out. Not to absolve Triple H and Creative for their blunders, but Cena has the stroke to dictate exactly what he does. This is an interesting one because it was announced today that, and the way they set this up on social media was interesting, that we're going to get John Cena versus AJ Styles at Crown Jewel Perth. John Cena had tweeted out on socials, "Hey, everybody, would you love to see me and AJ Styles? Triple H, are you listening?" And he tags everybody. So, everybody's like, yeah, that'd be great. And then he says, and then Triple H is like, you guys listened to it, and now we're going to give it to you. Everybody's making it sound like this is John Cena, forcing the issue with Triple H. That's not what happened here. What happened here was John Cena was told he's going to get AJ Styles. and look, maybe there is some amount of collaboration here. Maybe Cena was like, "Hey, you got a couple more matches," or Triple H like, "You got a couple more matches left, John. This is what we're thinking of. This seems like a no-brainer. You and AJ Styles." Cena's like, "Yeah, cool, let's do it." Maybe I don't know what the situation is, but the idea that John Cena is like using social media to force the hand of Triple H in a match that's a no-brainer is beyond silly.
Yeah.
The entire social media, it was set up to make it look like John Cena is listening to the fans and he's telling Triple H this is what they want, and Triple H obliges.
No, this decision to have this match was probably made weeks ago.
If not months ago.
If not months ago.
Yes.
It was probably set up this way because Cena's got no more dates between now and Crown Jewel.
Right. So you just
about the only way, unless you do a Cena Open Challenge and AJ answers it.
It's just a dream match. It's just, hey, you got to do this one here. You got to do this one.
See, AJ is one of Cena's greatest rivals towards the end of his career. Had a great series of matches.
Great.
We had opportunity to see one of them live at SummerSlam 2016. Spectacular.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah.
I don't know. You just I think yesterday, or was it today? I can't remember. I think it was the Wrestling Observer said it was Cena's call to have Brock go over at WrestlePalooza.
Do you buy that? I mean, there's no way for us to know if that's true.
There's no way for us to know, but the idea was, Cena's very unselfish, and on the way out, he wants to try to help get people over.
And Brock has a deal that is going to keep him around, so that's where it should go.
Yeah, if it's the situation where Brock's, apparently Brock's being advertised for Mania next year, or he's on the advertising for it. And so if the idea was, we need to reestablish Brock as a dominant force, Cena's like, all right, cool, let's do it. That could be a situation where he's looking at this retirement tour as an opportunity for himself, for him to help other people on the way out the door.
Yeah.
Not that Brock needs the help.
I mean, isn't that the big caveat?
That's the
Brock
thing.
Doesn't need the help.
He doesn't need anybody putting him over. That's the thing. I know, and they could have done something. Even if Cena loses, do something interesting with that match, rather than just kind of copy and paste what Brock's been doing for the last dozen years.
Yeah, I think you have Cena barely escape. You barely escape.
I think so too.
And Brock acknowledges, you got me because you're more savvy. You're the veteran. You're retiring now. Maybe he shakes his hand and he gives him an F5 at the end. After the match is done.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. But so let's go back to the premise of this hot take here, man. John Cena should face more criticism for not ensuring that the quality of his creative is something that works, given that, he's been accused of politicking in the back.
Well, let me ask you this.
Earlier in his career.
Cena's retirement tour, what's been the foremost creative blunder?
Like his face turn, right?
Well, that, but also they set up something at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And never followed through with it. So at WrestleMania, when I think a lot of people were expecting The Rock to be there, the end of Elimination Chamber made it seem like, all right, there's a new faction, if you want to call it that, in WWE. Rock, Cena, Travis Scott. That's what it seemed like. The last image with the three of them standing together.
Yeah, not following through on that. You're right.
That was massive.
Yeah.
And they had to backpedal and pivot so many times to try to make sense of that moment after the fact. And then eventually when Cena turned face, it was like, oh, The Rock just convinced me to turn bad for TV.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
All right, that's kind of a lame excuse.
Yeah.
But if the setup, if there was follow through on the setup,
yeah,
maybe we're having a different conversation here now. And that, again, this isn't to absolve anybody of any sort of blame in terms of what didn't work during John Cena's retirement tour.
Mm-hmm.
But if a fairly short-sighted decision wasn't made to have The Rock show up at Elimination Chamber to boost ticket sales a little bit, we might not even be having that conversation in terms of, oh, what a massive creative blunder after the fact, after Elimination Chamber, with the fact The Rock wasn't involved ever again.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain matches that we get. So, like, all right, this is the match. These are the matches here. The Cody match, the original Cody match. You know, the way that was booked with Travis Scott, bad move. You book that like, just do a good match. Cena cheats and then you're good, right?
Yeah.
Don't have Travis Scott come out. That's silly. The next match against Randy Orton was a good match.
It was solid.
Can't complain much about that one. Mm-mm. Then you do this stuff with R-Truth, and I'm so not opposed to something with R-Truth, but this match was like minutes long. It was not very long.
It was a handful of minutes long. There was an opportunity there seemingly to do something interesting, and it just didn't happen.
Then he teams with Logan Paul against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso at Money in the Bank. That, to me, is a wasted opportunity of some sort.
Yeah.
Then on a SmackDown, R-Truth defeats John Cena by DQ. I don't remember. Again, you're going back to the R-Truth thing. Mm-hmm. They were focusing on R-Truth for like weeks. And it was like, why are you doing this right now? Then you get the CM Punk thing. Now, I'm on record saying I hate Punk life. But a lot of people liked it, and some people were cool with this match. You do this match, and this is the match that we got. It's the match that we got. You do that match. You can't really complain too much about that. And you know what? At least they tried something with the Punk life stuff. They tried something, and the Cena pipe bomb was actually pretty good. Mm-hmm. It's not a bad. It's a pretty good pipe bomb. So you got something good out of that. And then you do the SmackDown face turn, and there lacked the drama of what that face turn should have been. So, I don't know. Cena had made a comment about how, they've already midway through his heel turn or through his heel run, they had, I think it was on Breakfast Club or something. And he said, we've already pivoted several times. A variety of things backstage go on, including like, what's the status of The Rock? Is he going to be here? Is he not going to be here? And maybe on paper in the writer's room, things sounded good. And then when they actually execute them, which you don't know what's going to happen. It's not like you can do, a cut or two of a movie and watch the thing and be like, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. And then you do a cut, you take it to focus groups. They didn't respond well to this. Let's cut it some more. Let's do some more stuff. Let's do some reshoots. This ain't that. This is, we got an idea here that we have to enact live in front of millions, and then you're just stuck with it. And I hate to say, because plenty of angles have been done well. The one absolutely egregious thing is the face turn.
Yeah.
Because whoever greenlit, it was Triple H, that promo,
yeah, it was.
That is the most egregious, because on paper it's terrible.
Yeah.
On paper you could say, the concept of how Cena wrestled that match against Cody, oh, well, he's a bad guy now, so maybe trying to milk it. Travis Scott, I don't know if anybody realized that him walking in slow motion to the ring was going to be as stupid as it was. You figure it would be, but maybe they're thinking, oh, it'd come off as menacing. I don't know. You don't know until you do it. The big egregious thing is the face turn, why everybody in the room didn't say, this is the worst idea we could come up with.
I know.
Is that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, for all I know, Cena's pitched on this stuff and he's like, okay, cool. If he thinks any of this is crap, you'd like to think that he would speak up, but I just don't know that he was aware that it was crap.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like to think that none of these guys think it's crap, and they just put it out there and it just didn't get a good response. This Lesnar one was. If Cena really did speak up and say, "Hey, I need to lose and get squashed by this guy because he's going to be around," and that's how you set up a,
Yeah.
then boy oh boy, he misread that one.
Yep. Speaking of Brock versus Cena, possibly Maddie here at the Hot Take says WWE doesn't understand what made Brock versus Cena in 2014 good.
Well, it was such an unexpected shock,
Yeah.
And they reference what happened back then so often in the lead up to this, that like just doing copy paste.
Didn't seem like much of a possibility.
No, and it was a bad surprise.
Yeah, bad surprise. Unwelcome surprise.
Yeah, I guess I kind of understand, you want to reestablish Brock, so you just go back to that well, but it's such a
waste because you don't. Why do you need to reestablish Brock?
Yeah. Dude, I don't even know, because you said this earlier, and I don't know, man. I don't know that there was any way to make a loss to Brock interesting. I don't know. Unless, I'll say this, without the requirement that Brock would have to put on a character performance of a lifetime.
I mean, that would be a prerequisite, yeah.
Like, he has to realize that what he's doing is awful. And I don't know that Brock has that level of performance in him. His character has never been like that.
No. I mean, no, yeah.
If there was any moment for self-reflection, dismantling John Cena would have to be it. But he's not. I don't think the performer is capable of doing that.
Or if there is the capability, he's unwilling, because what's the incentive for him to do it?
Yeah. I mean, look, if Brock walked in there and said, "Hey, Triple H, John, this is important to you, and we came up, and it's important to me. What do you want me to do?" Which seems very unlike Brock, but you never know. He's got a long history with Triple H. They signed him to no doubt a huge deal.
You'd think.
And maybe he has like the utmost awesome respect for John Cena, especially what happened in 2014, because that made Brock on his return. If he had said that, and they were like, "All right, you're gonna crush him, but for the first time in your life, you're gonna really feel conflicted about this," I think it's possible that Brock said, "All right, that's kind of maybe that's something that I can work with." I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know.
If he had that kind of self-awareness, then maybe we could add something interesting in a Cena loss.
Yeah.
But I don't know that Brock can do that, wants to do that, is capable of doing that. I don't know.
Either. I don't know. Avery Wash here with the Hot Take says, "I'm convinced either Hunter is scared to take a risk booking the men's division, or someone else in the creative room is convincing him to book safe. Just watch Unreal. Ed Koskey pitches an idea that's kind of risky. Putting Heyman with Seth Rollins. What's Triple H do?
Choose on ice, my favorite.
Choose
thing
on
of the year.
ice, and says, "Well, I worry where that's going to leave Roman."
Do we still have the Going in Raw Hall of Fame, or did we retire that?
I think we inducted the Going in Raw Hall of Fame into the Going in Raw Hall of Fame, thus retiring it.
I feel.
Do you want that scene from Unreal to go into the Going in Raw Hall of Fame?
Kind of, yeah. It's like my fucking moment of the year wrestling, yeah.
So, I mean, it's one snapshot, and who knows how genuine it is, whether that was something staged for cameras or not. But seeing as we don't get very many glimpses inside the writer's room, again, I take it with a grain of salt. That's actually how it played out. But that's what we got. And if it's a situation where people are pitching Triple H some ideas that are a bit riskier, and he's not willing to enthusiastically do them for fear of being risk, or because he's risk averse. We see that playing out on TV. So many of the main eventers in the men's division, from a character standpoint, are just kind of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or been doing the same thing for so long.
Yeah. But then I don't know. It makes you wonder if he viewed Brock beating Cena as a risk, and then he looks at the response to it and be like, "Oh my god,"
Or it could be a situation
when I try to risk things.
That it might be a risk, but think of the reaction it's going to get, positive or negative. People are talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know if he's that type. Vince is that. Mm-hmm. And I know Triple H sat under the Vince learning tree. I get that. I don't know that Triple H. I think that's one difference.
Because I would think he might subscribe to that line of thought if the idea is
heat.
It accomplished what it needed to do. And if the idea is in the broad sense, all right, we're going to reestablish Brock as scary wrestler guy.
Yeah, it's the heat.
It's the heat. It's the heat. And it's not just, oh, boo, we want to see Brock get beat up. It's like, well, this fucking sucked. Boo, because this fucking sucked. Well, it's a reaction. He wants the reaction. I
do kind of. I think you might be right if the idea is, well, this will help Gunther when he beats Brock. I honestly don't. I personally don't ascribe to that, because if Gunther does beat Brock, I don't think it's any better or worse or made more impactful because of what happened with Cena. Brock is Brock. The legacy is established. You know.
Yeah.
So I do think there's probably something to be said about him thinking, oh, this is going to get tremendous heat in a good character way. It'll make people want to see Brock get beat. I think he might be that. Vince was like, oh, you see all these people complaining about Roman Reigns and booing so many other things because they're upset about the creative. He thinks that reaction's good. That's Vince.
Well, that's Vince being out of touch. Yeah.
I don't think. Triple H. I don't think is.
No, I think there's times where he's willing to get a huge reaction, regardless if it's positive or negative, if he thinks, in a broader sense, it's going to achieve some goal.
I think you're right about that. I do wonder how much of what he does, and I don't think it's one where I'll put it this way. I have no idea what the answer to this is, but I am curious to know if any specific business metrics drive story ideas, meaning keeping the title on Cody as opposed to, hey, let's do a thing where Drew wins because of Randy Orton, if this is true, because of Randy Orton. Well, we can't do that because these business metrics tells us that's not good for our business. Even if it'd be an interesting idea, we can't do that because of the business aspect of things. Mm-hmm. If that's true, if that plays a factor into it, I think that's awful.
Yeah. Yeah, because we just saw with the Bloodline stuff that telling interesting stories is what's best for business.
Yeah. That being said, you have to think that he would be maybe on board with it, given that the John Cena heel turn, it seems like it has been good for business. Every single stop, you see everybody in the crowd wearing the new Cena merch from that stop, and the attendance is still good, et cetera, et cetera. I think the John Cena heel turn probably led to a lot of interest, which led to good business. I don't know what drives them. I don't know how much because they all seem so focused on the business aspect of things. I don't know. You got to think that plays somewhat into how he thinks creatively.
You would think so. You'd think so. Maybe every morning he gets a sheet or two of paper with
that could be
certain metrics on there, reads them. All right, how are we going to implement these metrics into what we do? It's entirely
possible. I think it's possible that Tony, I mean, we had heard that Tony Khan does the same thing. He looks at the ratings and, these people draw, these people don't.
The quarter hours, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Uncharted Media here says Sami Zayn has to win the WWE title, not the world title, for his story to feel satisfying.
At this point, man, I think they've actually done a pretty decent job elevating that world title. So that I feel like if Sami Zayn, I'll put it this way, I don't think he's going to be the guy. But if Sami Zayn were the one, if CM Punk tries and fails against Seth Rollins, and Sami Zayn tries and succeeds against Seth Rollins, that's a pretty big deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty big deal. I think that's all right. It would be different if it was like still Gunther, I think, because they never really tried to book Gunther like top guy. Seth feels like top guy. He does feel like it's a 1A, 1B situation.
Yeah,
or
much closer than it was when Gunther or Priest were champ.
I think now the World Championship is fine.
I guess the WWE title still is the legacy title.
Mm-hmm, sure.
And for that reason, I think it's still going to be held in maybe somewhat higher esteem because it is a legacy title.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Obviously, dude, it sort of depends on two things. How long is this world title going to stick around, and what is its ultimate lineage going to look like?
And ultimately, I think within the context of the story, it depends on which title Sami values.
That too. Yeah, that too.
If the story is really centered on, say, the World Heavyweight Championship and what that means to him, all right, if it's important to him and that's going to fulfill his goal of being world champion, who might argue with it?
When Batista beat Triple H for the world title, that's a great moment. Mm-hmm. The thumbs up, thumbs down thing, and then he goes on to beat him. That's a crowning moment.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the legacy title. It wasn't the lineage title. It was the one that WWE presented as the top title at the time, which was the big gold belt. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that in the narrative fiction that is WWE, whatever they are presenting as the big deal is kind of the thing. I think that kind of overrides everything.
Zero here says a hot take, says having a longer match is better than having a shorter match. Can't wait to hear what you have to say about this, Steve. I get why people don't like longer matches. I'm not saying for matches to go an hour unless it's something significant, but rushing a match makes it feel like you've wasted your time caring about the match.
I would never advocate for rushing a match. I kind of have a problem with a match that's 40 minutes long where I know the outcome, and the outcome is never in doubt. I have kind of an issue with that. I think if you can't do what you got to do in 17 minutes.
Steve, what do I tell you all the time? AEW is about performance. It's about the performance. First and foremost. So that's why we get 30, 40-minute main event matches when the outcome's not in doubt.
Do you think that the players of AEW... What's the point of the performance? It's to elicit emotion, right?
It's to elicit emotion and entertain, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there's I hate to say this because this is not a hot. This is taking some of the heat off here, and it's pushing. I feel like your match should be exactly the amount of time it needs to tell the story that it's trying to tell.
But if the story itself is, say, a battle of attrition, then length might play a part of that, yes?
Sure.
Or two competitors who are so evenly matched that it's at that point it's literally whose body gives out first.
Yeah, but you really risk overstaying your welcome if you want to go 40 minutes. I mean, we're talking about Hangman Fletcher now. Which, again, I freely admit, by the way, that I was totally distracted during that match because as a content creator, I was watching something else at the same time. And so that's actually a bad example here. My favorite match of all time, or at least in the modern era, is Kenny versus Okada 1. Mm-hmm. Let me see how long that match was.
That was a long match.
And that I'm sure it was a long match. That they always did.
It's probably the shortest of their pay-per-view main event matches, but it was a long match. It definitely was the shortest.
All right,
here we go. Three pay-per-view main event matches.
Kazuchika Okada matches. Let's see how far. My goodness, this guy is a bout machine. I tell you
Wrestles
what.
Wrestles a ton.
Let's see how many. Golly, I got to go back to page 7.
Was it Wrestle Kingdom 11?
2017, wasn't it?
Is that 11? Results. 46 minutes, 45 seconds.
Jesus Christ. That's way too long. They should have done that in 17 minutes.
17 minutes. It's as good as it was at 46. Think how much better it'd be at 17 minutes.
Right? That's exactly
Think
what
of all
I'm
the
saying.
superfluous, unnecessary story beats that happen in that 46 minutes.
I will say this about that match, though. I fucking had no clue who's going to win. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time because I was like, number one, I ain't never seen wrestling like this. So if you're going to do 46 minutes, you better show me something I ain't never seen before.
Yeah.
And number two, I didn't know who was going to win that match. I watched that purely on the buzz alone. I was like, oh, of course this Kenny Omega guy is going to win because this is a big moment, a big crowning achievement for him. And then he lost.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea who was going to win that match. That was nuts.
It's a good match. Snare Freak here with a hot take says AEW needs to hold All In New Orleans the day of WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, also to help out the indie show. So I think Tony Khan said that he wants to do something spring of 2027, something huge, something stateside. And I think that'd be great because with WrestleMania comes so much more than just WrestleMania. And, you know, with WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, I'm guessing a lot of the stuff that coincides with WrestleMania when it happens here isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So if Tony Khan is going to put on the stadium show somewhere in the States, don't do it the same day as WrestleMania. But do it sometime in the spring.
Dude.
And fills that void?
Come on. Just fuck it. I'm not saying a stadium show would be stupid. I think a stadium show on WrestleMania Day would be a bad idea. Do an arena show directly counter to WrestleMania. Why not? What's the downside? If this isn't something that was going to be in your normal lineup of schedules and stuff, or you know whatever, go to New Orleans and fucking do the thing. Why not?
I'll go to New Orleans and do it at the Superdome.
Well, because here's the problem.
All in.
You're set. You're set the greatest all in. Allest in.
Yeah.
You're setting yourself up for a little bit of failure because I don't know they're gonna sell 30,000 there.
I
But
think that place holds like 80. It's a huge, huge stadium.
and I still don't think they can do 30 on WrestleMania Day. But you can do 10 if you make it a big fuck you. If you make it a big fucking thing. That's where you do your mystery vortex show. Like, don't worry. Don't do like all in levels of like paying off stories, but put on a show, promote the show as being a fuck you. I kind of like that idea. Call it fucking all in petty. I don't know.
I just don't know if putting on an arena show like that would be, because part of it is the fuck you to WB, but also hey, this is all about continuing to foster this environment that is the industry of pro wrestling, and that's what WrestleMania weekend is about. Where basically every promotion in the States descends upon the host city of WrestleMania and runs shows all weekend long. There's WrestleCon. Sure. There's so much going on. You can go to WrestleMania weekend without ever going to WrestleMania and have an absolute blast.
Sure, yeah. You can still do that.
You can still do that. I just don't know if an arena show would necessarily be the thing that would do it. I feel like the spectacle would have to be stadium show.
Yeah, well, whatever they do, if they were to do it, that'd be awesome. Don't run like a little rinky-dink place. You have to do it. Look, I think we can both agree it's got to be, 10,000 plus. You got to have
20,000 plus.
20,000 plus. Let's say 17.
17,000 you get a building that's,
because some of those venues you can only put like 15 plus in there.
Yeah.
So 15.
Well, so I'm saying you get one of the smaller Major League Baseball stadiums that seat 40.
All right.
Get 20, 25 in there. Done.
25. I think they could do. Maybe they could do 25. Maybe you could do 25. But here's the thing: 25 in a place that seats that many. The sound. You want one of them little fucking packed ass arenas like 17,000. The sound will be off. You got to mic. By the way, number one, if you want this to work, you got to mic your crowd better.
That's a huge thing. You got to mix that audio better.
Yeah, no kidding.
Audio mix on all that was bad.
But yeah, do a fuck you to WrestleMania. Who cares? But if you don't do it this year, because there will be stuff in Vegas.
Yeah.
43 for sure.
That's what the premise is when.
Oh, I'm sorry.
43.
I thought it was. Oh, Saudi. Okay, yeah. Okay,
Yeah, the premise is 43 in 2
Oh,
years.
yeah.
Or a year and a half from now. Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
You host an event regardless of what size the venue is with WrestleCon. And you have all the events that would normally happen at WrestleMania would happen at All-In Weekend instead.
What time is Mania going to start? Like 10 a.m. Our time, like
probably, yeah.
10 a.m. our time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Start all in at noon.
Yeah.
Smack
Head to
dab
head.
in the middle of WrestleMania.
Head to head, you say. All right, Steve. It's time to talk PWI 500.
Ooh-wee.
Joseph Graham let us know PWI 500 came out today. I have the top 10 in front of me.
Okay.
And you have not seen it, right?
I've had number 1 spoiled for me.
Yeah, because you're on the social media still.
Mr. Cody Rhodes.
Correct. So historically, this is what we do.
Yes.
When this top 10 is released. One of us looks at it, the other one doesn't. The one who hasn't seen it has to guess who else is in the top 10.
Yeah.
I think you get 3 strikes. Yeah, I think you get 3 strikes and that's it.
Okay,
And then
cool.
you're
3 strikes.
out.
Then I'm out. Okay, cool. Right on.
All right, so you know Cody's number 1.
I know Cody's number 1.
Who else is on this list, Steve?
John Moxley.
He's at number 2.
All right. Let's see here. This is now where I draw a blank, of course.
Here, let me remind you of the criteria for this list.
Okay.
Kayfabe,
Yeah.
massively important.
Kayfabe
So if you have
matters.
long title reigns.
Oh, Gunther.
Number 3.
Ooh, look at me. Okay.
And it goes from last July to the end of this June, I believe.
All right.
Is the window.
I'll keep this rolling with the current World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins.
Number 8.
Ooh, okay.
Still have no strikes.
His contemporary, CM Punk.
1 strike.
Oh, no.
No fill.
Where was he on the list? He's got to be on the list. Right?
I only have the top 10 in front of me.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you got 1 strike now.
All right. What about this guy? He won a lot. What about Jacob Fatu?
Strike 2. You got to think of others who have won world championships.
Hangman Adam
specifically.
Page.
Number 4.
Ooh, okay.
Others who have won world championships.
What about? Well, I already got him. Others who have won world championship. Oh, well, I already said him. Others who have won. Oh, Jey Uso.
Yes, Jey Uso.
I was gonna say him earlier. Okay, all right.
Number 6, Jey Uso. You have 4 more names with 1 strike. Let me see.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 4 more names.
All right. What about Will Ospreay?
Number 10.
Ooh, okay.
3
I got
more.
3 more names left. At this point, I've already considered it a win, to be honest with you.
I think this is the best you've ever done at this, honestly.
At anything. This guy was gone for a while. What about?
Do you want a hint? Do you want some clues?
Yeah, that's always fun.
So there is 1 wrestler from New Japan, the top 10. 1 that you haven't named yet.
Zack
1
Sabre
more.
Jr.
Let me finish what I'm saying. 1 wrestler from New Japan that you have yet to name. 1 wrestler from AEW you have yet to name. And 1 wrestler from CMLL.
Oh, Mystico.
Mystico.
Okay, so Mystico, and then 1
That's 2
from
more.
New Japan.
And 1 from AEW.
So if it's not Zack Sabre Jr., it's got to be Goto.
Goto it is.
Okay, so I've got 2 strikes because I did say Zack Sabre Jr. and you would
I
have
mean,
said
technically
yes.
that would be your 3rd strike.
Oh, really? Oh, I already
Yeah.
had 2? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 2. Oh, no, am I 3 now?
No, you have 2.
But I got 1 more name left?
Yeah.
1 guy from AEW?
Yes.
Okay. Let me think now. I have several ways I can go here. Okay, I'll say it's MJF. Was it Swerve? Okay, all right.
It
Well,
was
that was the
sort
other way I was going to go. Okay, I had them all. I mean, I kind of had them all jumbled in my head here. And I'll be honest with you. So I didn't know that Mystico was on here, but I did see Dave Meltzer on Twitter respond, like quote tweet, I think like a Justin Wang tweet about the list. And he said, if that was the criteria, Mystico should be number one. And I was like, oh, wow, they completely snubbed Mystico. So when he said CMLL, I was like, okay, Mystico's the guy there. So, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like a fair enough list because we got, like, Roman barely wrestled, so you can't really say him.
Yeah.
So Punk wasn't in the top 10?
No.
Was he injured or something? Did he just barely wrestle? Doesn't wrestle a lot.
No, he doesn't wrestle a lot.
So, okay. All right.
Maybe that's what it was. That kept him out of the top 10. I'm sure he's on the list, probably fairly high.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Top 20, I would guess.
Okada's probably got to be on there, too. That dude doesn't
you'd
really
think so.
lose.
Yeah, no, he doesn't lose.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, as far as I'm concerned, this is a good list because I did really well.
That's Steve's number one criteria right there.
It is, yeah. Regardless of what the window of time is, if I'm able to guess it correctly and not look like a complete asshole, I feel like I've done something well, and I feel they've done something well.
There we go. Mission accomplished for everybody involved.
Right, but mainly me.
Mainly Steve. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next hot take here from Adam says, we need more not that popular song but close themes like DDP and Ravens and WCW.
I love this hot take because this is the equivalent of hot take to Toonces driving a car off a cliff. This is so epically bad that I actually really appreciate it and would love to see it.
Without a doubt.
Right?
What we get instead, or what we got for a while, was not that WWE theme song, but close. Remember when Asuka had the replacement theme that was really close to her theme, but not quite.
Yeah.
We had those for a while.
Yeah. The problem with this, one of the problems with this hot take, I wouldn't recognize, unless it was like a song that was truly crossover, like, you know, Kendrick Lamar, not like something like that. If it was truly crossover, but I'm not really clued into like, I look at the Billboard top whatever these days and I'm like, I don't know who this Morgan Wallen guy is, but I think I probably wouldn't like him. Right? Like, if they're like, oh yeah, it's a knockoff of a Morgan Wallen song, I'm like, I don't know what that is.
No, I listen to the radio quite a bit actually still.
To modern day stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'd be able to, what you're saying, like if it was like Sabrina Carpenter, you'd be like, they're trying to rip that off.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably could.
Yeesh. Yeah. No desire whatsoever. None. Less than none.
Really?
Yeah. No, why would I?
I don't know. There's some well-crafted pop songs out there.
Mm-mm. Every once in a while, I catch wind of some, like, none of these.
Jesse Helsius, last one here, says, I'd rather have Larson arms and Balor abs.
Oh, wow. Wow. All right.
There's not that much going on here.
All right. Well, it's a high compliment, you know.
I mean, it is. I appreciate it.
Very nice of them to say something like that.
I'm still trying to get Balor abs. I got a little definition on these two here.
Okay.
The top ones.
Well, there you go. You know, keep working hard at it.
I'm going to. I got my ab routine. I feel good. I see results. Next summer, Balor abs.
Okay.
That's the goal.
Right on. Next summer for me, it's keep on eating like a piece of shit and get back to where I was a year ago.
You don't eat like a piece of shit.
I'll be honest. I did do quite a bit of cheating this weekend, and I'm not talking about infidelity. I had, I think, a Mexican pizza from Taco Bell. Shit's so good. I did have some nuggets from McDonald's. And the other day I had some hot dogs. But then I was like, on Monday, I'm back on my shit. So sure enough, I'm back eating spinach.
Well, I mean, did you have that all on the same day?
That would be kind of awesome if I just loaded up one after another after another. I mean, but no, it was spread out.
Give yourself a cheat day.
Spread out over like 3 days.
Okay.
It was like a cheat
otherwise,
sequence.
Did you balance everything pretty well?
Yeah. I had the
That is
same.
fine.
No, it's not fine.
It is
It's
fine.
not fine.
You got to treat yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, this shit was hella good though. My question here when I saw this hot take was on the thing would be, what's the next, let's say next summer you get Balor abs.
Sure.
What next Frankensteinian body part would you like to lift from somebody else?
Tyler Bate thighs.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I wouldn't even try to go down low. If you showed up all of a sudden one day with Tyler Bates thighs, I'd be like, I ain't going down low. Yeah. I ain't even going to try that shit.
See?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. Here's the thing, though. I think that would actually stunt your speed a little bit.
It might.
So I would just cross you over a little bit and try to run past you, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I got a long way to go before I get to the Tyler Bate thighs.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Long way.
That's a lot. And on your frame,
like 500
on your
pounds.
frame, it'd be kind of weird too.
It would be, yeah.
It'd be kind of oddball. Yeah. Honestly, like my goal is Scott Bakula circa Quantum Leap bod. The only reason I bring this up is I saw this, I think on Twitter or something, and it was like a shot of him shirtless from Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
And he looks as like fit dad as possible.
Yeah.
Like he's got no definition of like abs or anything like that. He's just in shape. He's very generically in shape.
Yeah.
And the caption was like, just think back in 1991, this was considered sexy because that body type, like Don Johnson was never like muscular. No. He was just trim.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know what? That's a good goal for me to have.
There it is.
Yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for this edition of Hot Takes. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.